Hi, my name is John Nemo. I'm the public relations and social media guy here with the Minnesota Nurses Association. I'm in my office. You can see my kids' beautiful artwork behind me. I wanted to make this video just to share with people what we learned from David Meerman Scott's books and blog and how we applied that during the biggest nursing strike in U.S. history last summer. So let me set the stage for you. During the summer of 2010, we had 12,000 nurses that we were representing here in the Twin Cities. And they were going up against 14 different Twin Cities hospitals that did an annual business revenue of about $7 billion a year. So it was very much a David and Goliath kind of story. I was the only PR and social media person that our association had working. Meanwhile, the hospitals had retained an entire PR firm. You know, we're spending millions of dollars doing a huge public advertising blitz, radio ads, newspaper ads, you know, online ads. I mean, just blasting out their message. And it was a very, very public fight, a very bitter fight, hundreds of millions of dollars on the line. Let me give you some examples of how we used these different ideas or strategies that David Meerman Scott's been talking about for years, how we used them in our campaign and actually had immense success. One of the first things we did was we really used social media to drive the mainstream agenda. And what we did was we really involved our membership. Our biggest strength in this PR battle was nurses. We had nurses, frontline everyday nurses. Immediately when you think of nurses, they're the most trusted profession in the United States. Everybody knows a nurse, everybody loves a nurse, they're great people. So one of my favorite posts that David has is a rant about stock photography and stock art on your website when you're trying to promote your company or your union, your association with, you know, perfect looking people. I think the post is called "Who the hell are these people?" And we really took that to heart. I mean, we used real people. You know, we trained and had our everyday nurses being our spokespeople in the media. We used YouTube to deliver video messages directly from nurses who were doing the bargaining to the rank and file, the 12,000 nurses at large, because we knew that if we could humanize our message, if we could tell our own story with social media, we could then counteract what the hospitals were doing with their multi-million-dollar campaign, which was, you know, tons of propaganda aimed at the public, aimed at the nurses who weren't at the negotiating table. What ended up happening was we used another thing that David talks about in his book Real-Time Marketing and PR with crowdsourcing. I mean, we literally had 12,000 plus nurses at our disposal. So anytime I needed help or wanted to run an idea out or wanted to share an important update, I would throw it on Facebook, Twitter, the blog, and immediately would have, you know, dozens, if not hundreds of comments, suggestions, tips, and you got to see what happens next.
It's been an emotional, difficult battle between the nurses and the hospitals. And this woman, Trish Doherty, has been in the middle of it all.
So it's not totally one nurse to so many patients.
The spokeswoman for the Twin Cities hospitals. She's made some of the nurses so angry that this morning, one of them looked her up.
I just did a Google search. That's all.
Amy Vanderleest found an old 2006 article about Doherty's past. We've confirmed she confessed to stealing thousands from a Sioux Falls hospital when she was head of HR there. She used the money to landscape her yard.
Well, you could have knocked me over with a feather. I mean, here we have a woman who is the spokesperson for the hospitals who has a criminal history of embezzling $15,000 from a hospital.
Vanderleest posted the article on Facebook this morning, and within 3 hours, Doherty was fired. The hospitals say they just learned of her legal troubles today.
Another really important aspect we use that I love about David and his blogs and his tweets is we got rid of the lawyers. We got rid of the middle people. We got rid of the approval process. And my boss and some other people, you know, handpicked some folks, me and a few others, and said, we're going to trust you to monitor things in real time. We're going to trust you to have the appropriate responses in real time. And that was a huge deal in our campaign because we did have such intense interest in this story. You know, we had an incredibly successful campaign both on the public relations front and the social media front. We've gotten a ton of attention for it, a ton of kudos. You know, there's been case studies done. I've made some videos explaining and highlighting what we did. But really, I want to give the credit to David Meerman Scott, honestly. I mean, I've been following his blog since probably 2008, 2009, implementing his tips, you know, reading all his books, Worldwide Rave, New Rules of Marketing and PR, and Real-Time, you know, Marketing and PR. And I got to say, the thing I like most about David, and I think we're another kind of case in point, is he's able to give you case studies from all across the spectrum, different businesses, for-profit, non-profit, B2B, business to consumer, whatever, it doesn't matter. These ideas are universal, they work. And I knew when I was pitching this to my bosses that it would work, that this kind of campaign would work. It had risk, you had to move fast, but I was able to show them, case studies that David has done a great job with. I was able to show them things that guys like Gary Vaynerchuk or Chris Brogan have talked about, proven, and I just love the fact that it worked, and anybody can do this. So thank you, David Meerman Scott. Our nurses say thank you. Healthcare in Minnesota says thank you, because we got a great contract that protects our patients. And we look forward to just keep rocking forward in 2011 and beyond.